Tell your man that you'll be right back. I'll be asking questions.
You got what tatted on you?
I drink a boost for breakfast, an Indio for dessert. Somebody order pancakes, I just dip the scissor. That right there could drive a sane man berserk. Not to worry, Mr. Ace to the Illos back to Wizard. How do you console my mom or give her light support? Telling her son's on life support. And just imagine how my girl feel on the plane, scared as hell that a guy looked like Emmett Till. She was with me before the deal, she was trying to.
I'm Pancho, and this is my Tattoo Tales. What's up, guys? My name is Pancho Jauregui. I'm from Indio, California. I'm a Mexican-American, and I was previously a teacher at Indio High School. Just finished up my first year, and now I'm moving to LA to try to make some money.
What's going on, my good peoples? Out here with my boy. What's up with you?
What's up, man? I'm super stoked. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. It's been a little minute. We've been talking about getting in this interview, and I'm glad we're here, getting it in.
No, I'm super pumped. It has been a long time coming. Mm-hmm. I met this guy at the gym, and so a couple months back, he hit me up, asked me if I wanted to talk. And dude, it's been a while, so I'm super stoked. Again, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. You're gonna bless us with your tale, and obviously we're here to talk about some tattoos. So yes. Let's get into it, man. What certain piece do we want to speak about?
Oh man, I have quite a few. I'm going to start with one that I think, it's like a collection of tattoos that I think really mean a lot to me. So right here on my wrist, I have Amor Eterno. Mm-hmm. Along the back of my neck, I have Te Extraño. On my chest, I have Te Quiero Mucho. Mm-hmm. And then on my leg right here, I have Te Adoro. Mm-hmm. So it's just like a series of sayings that you would say to a loved one in Spanish. Mm-hmm. And I lost my grandma when I was about in the 5th grade. She loved her to death, She was a mom to me. And so these are all just a bunch of phrases that are kind of buried in my brain that she has consistently told me time and time again as I was growing up. So it's just a gentle reminder to tell the people that you love them, and just always, it's crazy. I read these in her voice. Mm-hmm. So they mean a lot to me, and it's like a series that I kind of just started on my body, and I've collected those, little taglines throughout over the course of like 5 or 6 years. So I plan on getting more, but those are probably my favorite that I hold closest to my heart.
Yeah. And just by listening to you talk about those, bro, I could tell they kind of really mean something. Not only that, but like how you said, a series of tattoos. It's not just one tattoo. These tattoos are out, throughout the body, and yeah. I just kind of think that's dope, just because I don't, one tattoo means something, but I don't have them, something. I like basketball. I got a couple of basketball tattoos.
Yeah, of course.
But I just like the vibe of that, how you have that, in different places. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm going to be honest, not all my tattoos are that thought out, as we'll get to later.
Yeah.
But that was one that, one tattoo just can't do it justice, like you can get one, huge piece on your back. Obviously, I don't have a lot of big pieces. I have a series of smaller pieces. And so it's like, I've noticed that whenever I go through a patch in my life, that where I really need a little bit of extra support from someone, especially someone who's not here, I sit and I reflect and I think, and I'm like, okay, and I go get I get a tattoo.
Right.
And that's where, I got this one in New York. I got this one in New York. I got this one in LA. I got this one in LA. So it's like different chapters in my life. And so it's like, yeah, it's just a tattoo is a time when I can sit down and I can really reflect and I can remember. And I can get it into my body. So it's kind of just like that. It's me revisiting my time with her. And so there are so many more to come, especially just in that series.
Yeah, it's dope to think about that and the way you think about that. And I noticed, a lot of people have sentimental tattoos and it's something they can remember. Whether it's sad, good, it's something for to remember. They got past it, or it's something beautiful to remember. It's such like your grandma, like you're saying.
Yeah. She'd be pissed, dog. She hates tattoos. She hates tattoos. Yeah. But I love them, dude. I love them so much.
Okay, let's get into. You said you were a teacher a bit. Tattoos evolved a bunch in these last couple of years.
A ton, yeah.
Is it a negative notation when you having as a teacher with tattoos? Are you more likely to cover them up or
no,
show them?
At first I felt incredibly self-conscious about my tattoos, especially in a professional setting.
Right.
I went to USC as an undergrad, and not a lot of kids at USC have tattoos. And so I got them very young. I was like 19 when I got my first tattoo. So I would oftentimes be the only kid in class of color, and the kid, of color has tattoos.
Yeah.
So I was incredibly self-conscious about it, especially because, I was involved with just a lot of politics on campus. I would attend, conferences and very important luncheons, and sometimes I would have my tattoos out. But then I came to realize, like, if you're gonna be a kind of person who looks down on somebody with tattoos, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to work for you. I don't want to work with you. I don't want to be in that space. And fortunately, education, specifically Indio High School, that's not a place where they look down at tattoos. Most of the time, the kids ask me about my tattoos, and it leads to incredibly inspiring conversations where we learn from each other.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that stigma is definitely going away. And I love it, dude. I love pushing it forward. Like last year I was at Harvard, and I was, again, probably the only person in class with tattoos, but being able to rechange some perceptions of people, and be the first person who maybe they had a positive interaction with tattoos, and they're like, hey, maybe not all people with tattoos are bad. Being that first person for some people, I think is really important. So, especially in education, like I feel like it's grown so much. Definitely haven't had any negative experiences, but maybe because I just take myself out of those situations where I feel something coming, if that makes sense. Right.
All that was so well said, just as far as like, maybe you're not inspiring the youth to get tattoos, but you're inspiring them to say, hey, these actually mean something to me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm not just getting tattoos, but they mean something to me. And these are along the lines that if you do want to get one, this is why I got them, and you choose your right way.
Of course. And like, dude, the only reason why when I was a senior in high school, I gave a speech at my graduation, and I told the community of Indio that I was going to come back and I was going to be a teacher. And I did it. I came back and I became a teacher, not just because of that promise, but because I wanted to be a figure in the classroom to show these kids, like, you can go out there and you can do whatever it is you want to do. Don't ever let anybody tell you what you can and can't do.
Right.
Even if you're blasted with tattoos, even if you come from a place like Indio, like you can go out to a USC, you can go to a Harvard, you can go travel around the world on somebody else's money. Like you can go out and do those kinds of things. And I feel like tattoos, just like, doing it with tattoos, like, dog, come on now. Like there's no better way than that. And I also grew up like an emo kid, I loved punk rock and alternative rock. So growing up, I always wanted to get tattoos.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just feel like all of that culminated to me wanting to start a collection. And as soon as you get one,
the itch continues.
You just can't stop, dude. You can't stop.
I'm full. I'm almost full now, and I still want more tattoos. So it's like, and it's probably going to be a never-ending thing. And I agree with you. I just agree as far as like, once you start, you're going to continue. You continue. And in a way, bro, you inspire me, bro, just because they're saying like, oh, I'm going to come back and be a positive thing in Indio with or without these tattoos.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And, they come along. There's still a slight negative notation on them, stigma. But I'm just so glad people are comfortable with having tattoos and being, and understanding the fact that it's like, fuck it. Fuck it,
for
man.
real,
Like,
dude.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have them. I love myself, and I hope you could respect me as much as I respect myself. Just because I have some tattoos, you shouldn't treat me any differently.
Exactly. And I didn't really know what I was getting into until I got tattoos, until I started getting some looks in class where I was like, damn, like it really is real. But nah, man, times are changing. Art in tattoos are changing incredibly, you know?
Talent is wild.
No,
out here
it
now.
is. So I'm starting to, and I mean, again, going back to like the series, like it's like art pieces on your body, literal art pieces. So it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's changing a lot. And looking at your tattoos and some of the tattoos that I've really put some thought into, it's like those are art pieces that I'm so proud of. And so
Yeah. No, I hear you. Let's get into some more ink, man. You got the left leg. We got a bunch of stuff on the left leg.
Oh man,
I seem like you kind of just had more fun with it, and I love that approach.
Yeah, dude. Okay,
love
so
that
I
approach.
have one on my leg that I got, and I'm a huge mama's boy.
Yeah.
I love my mom to death, and my mom and my grandma are the two voices in my head whenever I read these.
Yeah.
And growing up, I used to always have to ask my mom for everything. I'm 26, not that I ask her, but I'm like, hey, I'm gonna do this, like hoping for her approval.
Yeah.
I got this tattoo on my leg that says IDK, let me ask my mom.
Yeah.
And so for a while, it was like a summer, I would, the homies would be like, hey, let's do this. And I would always just send them a picture of my tattoo. Like, dude, you already know, like, I gotta ask my mom.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm a mama's boy. It's my version of like a mom tattoo.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know,
dope.
let me ask my mom. So I have that one on here. I also have a 97, 97 kid. I feel like I'm on the cusp of a millennial and Gen Z.
Yeah.
And anybody who I meet who's like 96, 97, 98, we're just in this really weird period of we don't know where we're at. And I can really relate to people, obviously your age, but like specifically 97. You know what I mean? So I just needed to get my number on my birthday on me. These right here mean a lot to me too. There's some cherubs and a little Cupid.
Yeah.
And so it's like, again, you get tattoos when you're going through different chapters of your life, when you're really like learning or you need some sort of guidance or something. That's when I tend to get my tattoos. And so I was going through a very like serious point in my life, and I like to think that I'm like not a serious person.
Yeah.
You know, like my motto in life is like, is it really going to matter in a year from now or in 6 months from now or 5 years from now? And if it's not, then it ain't that serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I found myself getting caught up in things that don't really matter and not really being that playful self that I love to be. So I tried to, get two cherubs just playing around, playing tag, just remembering the joy of childhood and like the joy of just like playing and not really being so serious about it, because that's when life really that's when you really grow, dude, is when you're just like being playful, when you're joking around, when you're being your authentic self. And so it's just a gentle reminder, like when I see myself getting caught up in shit that's not important, you know? I just look down, I'm like, all right, like be true to yourself, be playful, be silly, have fun, because life's way too damn short to like just be so serious all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I could totally agree with that, bro. And just the aspects of, like, man, if you take everything too seriously, like, oh man, you're gonna be stressed out. You know what I mean? I'm so nonchalant. Like, I take, because of course there's serious things that you should take into, more important, whatever, prioritize, however you want to say it. But if you let every little thing bother you, man, it's gonna be a long life. You know what I mean?
I think it goes hand in hand too with just academia. I've been in school for the last 12 years. I got 2 master's degrees, 2 bachelor's degrees.
Right.
I'm a teacher, for fuck's sake. So it's like education is the pinnacle of stress, right? Like in education, they tell you got to be stressed out, you got to take everything seriously, and you do.
Yeah.
Kids listening at home, you do. But at the same time, like, have some fun, people.
Right, yeah.
The most valuable learning experiences I've ever had as a teacher and as a student is when we're just sitting down, having fun, being our true playful selves. And it's like, I've just been in that life for too long in academia. I just needed to remind myself, as well as the people that I'm with, specifically the students, the youth.
Yes.
Be like, life is too short. Go out, have fun. Be smart, but go out and have fun and be playful. So
Yeah. Take care of your business out there, man. You know what I mean? There's few things that are fairly important, like, family, friends, obviously your way of making money, because it's the way to survive out here.
Of course.
But life is about having fun. If you don't, you know what I mean, then it's just like I said, you're gonna get gray hair early. You know what I mean? So I agree hella with that. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about. I know you kind of dabble with the modeling a bit. You know what I'm saying? Do you think tattoos kind of enhance your look for that, or how do you feel about that?
I think so, dude. I think so. Like so many times I've been stopped on the street and been like, "Oh, how are your like? Let me see your tattoos. How are your tattoos?" It's just a vibe that I try to give off for myself, and I usually do I mean, obviously tattoos are for yourself, but you want them to look a little good, right?
Yeah.
There's definitely like an aesthetic, a vibe that I'm trying to go for, especially like the patchwork.
Mm-hmm.
I joke around like the Chipotle bag vibe. Like I really want to you know, but I definitely do. And I've, if I'm being honest, you know, growing up, I really struggled trying to find my true authentic self, like my vibe, like this is who I am. And it wasn't until I got into tattoos where I was like, damn, like this is, all right, this is who I am. I can really start embracing my style a little bit more, you know? Especially letting out that inner emo when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because I was like, dude, I was one of those cringe emo kids. He used to straighten his hair, wear beanies in 100-degree weather, you know, like, and I was the only emo kid in my entire family. Everybody else used to rock the fitted hats, the pro clubs, AAA shakas, and I was rocking the skinny jeans and the skater shirts. So being able to fully embrace that at the ripe age of 26, I was like, damn, that's, you know, it's super dope. I definitely agree that it just overall enhances the vibe and the appearance a little bit more, you know?
Okay. Yeah, no, I ask about that because, you know, when you start getting into, you know, the stigma of modeling, you cannot have any tattoos. You know, you got to be able to look professional, this, that. So I always ask somebody about that because things obviously change now. You know, tattoos evolved. I see tons of models now with tattoos because there's a certain look they're going for, or people want that look.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. People want like that grungy, you know, like, you know, tattooed up, like, but still clean. You know, they want that look. So, no, I've been collecting since I was 19, dog. So, I slowly been kind of like building up to that a little bit. So, I love them so much. I was initially only going to get the left side of my body. So this was my idea. It was like, left side of my body is going to be tattoos influenced by the people in and around my life. These ideas that I hold on to, these people that I love and I cherish, and like, that was on my left side. My right side was going to be me in its natural form, right? Like, this is all me. And I was like, damn, a tattoo on this side would look fire. Seriously, something as simple as that broke down that concept. But it all started with this eagle right here done by my friend Corey. And it just kind of captures like my Mexican American heritage. Got the Mexican eagle on my forearm. I grew up not really embracing that Mexican American culture. I went to a private Catholic school here in Indio.
Yeah.
OLPH, you know about OLPH?
I know about it.
Yeah, so my parents put me and my two cousins and my sister in there, and you know, it's not a white private Catholic school, but it's a private Catholic school nonetheless, right? So I grew up going by the name Frankie, going by Frank, not really embracing my name Pancho, you know, I was embarrassed.
Yeah, I hear you.
But it's like, as I got older and I started realizing, you know, this is who I am, and really fully embracing it, you know, might as well go all in, and I love it, dude. I love it so much.
Yeah, I hear you. So one thing I wanted to ask was, like, you kind of just hinted on it about, like, the scatter look. Me, I knew I wanted to be fully tatted, full sleeves, full leg sleeves. If I were to live in a different lifetime, I think I would go with more of the scatter look.
Right.
Because I don't know why. I love the look. You know what I mean?
So there are two reasons why I did it. One, I love the look, and two, I'm just really indecisive. I also can't tolerate pain for shit. So it's like, you know, the longest tattoo session I've had is probably 5 hours, dude. So it's like, I can't sit down and, you know, crank out a 12-hour session with somebody. But also, I just can't decide on one single concept in my life to dedicate an entire leg sleeve to, if that makes sense. So it's like, rather than that, I'd rather just like, and also, you know, getting tattoos is a gradual thing. Like, I plan on getting tattoos every single year for the rest of my life, you know? So it's like, I gotta leave some space somewhere, and
instead of getting, continues.
Yeah, instead of getting one big tattoo that's incredibly meaningful to me at the age of 20, I'd rather get, you know, a bunch of small ones, and then, so that way when I'm 40, I can still, you know.
Yeah, all the little memories, all the little chapters.
Get some tattoos. I love to travel, so I love to get tattoos everywhere I go. I see them as souvenirs, and so it's like it's a capture. It's capturing a moment in your life. You know what I mean? So. Should we do a little impromptu? Oh no. This man's busy.
Pops is in here, man. He's grinding. He's working hard in here.
Yeah. Should we address where we're at right now?
Yeah, no. You feel free, man. This is the place where my man's was kind of brought up in. So tell us a little about this is a place I love. I've been coming here since I was a boy.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about it, man.
Yeah, dude. So we're at Bob's Twin Kitchen, BTK. 41125 Jackson Street. This is my home, if I'm gonna be honest. My dad came from Juarez when he was in middle school, and then he went to Jefferson Middle, went to Indio High School. What year did you start working here, Pa? What's up, Frank? How we doing? What year did we start working here?
1981.
So we started working here in 1981. How old were you?
I was 16 years old.
Okay.
You were 16 years old, started working here. What was the first thing that Bob made you do when you were here?
Burgers, Healy Burger.
Healy
The world's
Burger.
famous Healy Burger.
Still.
Started working as a cook, dabbled in a bunch of other stuff, and then you bought it. How old were you when you bought the restaurant?
We got it, me and Indio got it back on 1994, so I was like, 35 years?
35, yeah. So
It's been a long time coming. Long time coming. Yeah.
very long time coming. And so when he bought it, he was here nonstop. It's either him or my tío who are here. So
Yeah, we worked here for like over a year without day off. Me and my brother.
Real work.
Not a single day off.
Yeah.
Over a year.
Okay,
but I
okay.
mean, like all that work to put in, and so growing up, when my dad was always working, and my mom was still working. Yeah. My dad was always working. My mom was always working. I would, we didn't have a babysitter. We would come here, So I would sit right here. My sister would sit right here. My two cousins would sit right here. We would always steal raspberry iced tea bottles from the fridge, and they would get so pissed off at us. We'd order food and we watch TV, do our homework here for at least 2 hours every single day. So I used to live in that side of Indio. Now I live in North Indio, and it's like everywhere that I go, you know what I mean? When you think of home, especially when you're away from home, the image and the sounds and the smells that come to mind of home is Bob's, is this spot right here.
Yeah.
I grew up here, and before this interview, my dad still asked me, he's like, hey, can you work on Wednesday? I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
So it's like, and it's really not escaping it. So I love this place so much, and as you mentioned, it's a North Indio staple. We've been here for quite some time, just like super blessed by the community to still be in business, and not only be in business, but be thriving, be part of like such an established group of businesses that really anchor Indio. Like, it's an honor, dude. It's just all love, you know?
Yeah, and like I said, I've been coming here since I was a boy, since I can remember, to have a real memory, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the youngest of 5. My whole family before me come in here. Like you said, I used to live in the Bay for quite a while. This was one of the main spots I used to think about.
Always,
I need to get some hometown food. I got to go to Bob's, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I love this place. I respect this place fully. You guys survived through COVID.
Yeah.
The community, if you don't know about Bob's, I don't even know what you're doing.
Really don't know what to tell you. And I'm
Yeah.
not just saying this because I'm the son of one of the owners and I grew up eating this food, but I've lived in LA, I've lived in Boston, I've lived in London. I've driven across the country 2 times. This is, and I know this is a bold take, this is hands down top 5 restaurants across the country. Best tacos ahogados, best hot sauce, best burgers. And it's like, dude, when you're in New York City and all you're craving is Bob's, that's
tough.
saying something
That's
about the
tough.
food
Yeah,
over
yeah,
here, you
yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? So, and it's just a community, like, there was a time where I would work here for 2 years and, every single day or like 5 days a week and see the same people coming in from Emerald Street, from Ruby Street, from just the community of Indio. You got your regulars, you got your out-of-towners, and it's like just such a vibe. So if you've never been to Bob's,
Pay it a visit.
Pause this right now and go to Bob's. It's just so, to be able to record this here, it's just incredibly fitting. You know what I mean? So I love it.
Yeah, I'm glad that we could do it too, because like I said, this place means a hell of a lot to me. You know what I mean? I know obviously you too, so I'm glad for that. Let's get into a little bit more ink. One thing I wanted to talk about, you got one on the back of your neck here.
Yeah,
and then you got one single one on your right leg there. So let's talk about it.
So the one on my back was also done by Corey. I got to plug my 2 tattoo artists from the Valley. So I got Corey, who works out of a private studio. And I got Kim, her Instagram name is Jauregui. She works out of Oasis.
Oh, okay, dope.
Two of the best tattoo artists, not just in the Valley, but just across the country, hands down. Another tattoo artist who I really work closely with, his name is Armando, tattoos out of New York City. Met him just out of the blue. Dude is one of the nicest, sweetest guys in the world, giving me some of the dopest ink ever. One of my personal favorites is this crown right here that he did.
Yeah.
It was a gift from him, a free tattoo. Can you believe it?
Damn.
I told him I was leaving Boston. He's like, dude, you got to come to New York one more time. Come to Brooklyn. Let me tattoo you and Yaz up.
Yeah.
So he gave me this crown tattoo. My dad is hands down one of the smartest people I have ever met, if not the smartest, and look up to this man so incredibly much. He calls me Rey. Doesn't call me anything else. He calls me Rey. Mi Rey, mi Rey. And so I see him as my king. He's and so I had to get a crown to just kind of represent our relationship together and just how much I appreciate this man to death.
Yeah.
And then I got the olive branches on my knee. This was done by Kim, and just biblical significance. Like I said, I grew up in a Catholic family, and just olive branches, the significance of that, just of providing and supporting, and just the meaning and significance it has in the Bible. I just kind of wanted to, I don't want to get like a basic, cross tattoo or like a Jesus, and nothing
Something
against
different.
those, but I want something a little bit more subtle. You know what I mean? And so
Catered
I love
to
the
you.
way. Yeah, of course. And I
Yeah.
love the way that these olive branches kind of I see it as an anchor. It's an anchor piece to my right leg sleeve, just like it's an anchor in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And on the back of my neck, I have Amor, and it has a crown of thorns going along both sides. Again, another biblical reference, just because I grew up, and I'm still incredibly religious. I wanted something a little bit more subtle.
Yeah.
And just signifying, Christ's love for me, for my family, just for everybody. It's just, and it still kind of has like a little like Southern California twist with that old English font and stuff that. So just a blend of my style, my faith, where I'm from. And that back one was done by Corey. So I got 3 really great pieces from 3 amazing artists on 2 separate sides of the coast, and it's like I couldn't be more blessed to have those. So
dope,
just wanted
dope.
to shout them out one time.
Definitely. And just between all the ink, man, what we have here, what best represents Pancho?
Which one?
Which piece?
Oh,
Which piece would you go with?
That's a tough one. I forget about which one I have. So I didn't talk about this one, and this really means a lot to me. And if you know me, you would agree. I have Da Vinci cranial studies on the back of my tricep, and just overall vibe and aesthetic of it, I think it really suits me. And the idea and the study of the human mind in academia and like learning and going to school, as corny and cliche as that sounds, that is such a thing that has changed my life. And that's why I have dedicated my life to education the last, 6-7 years, because I believe in the power of learning. I don't care if you're learning about English, math, any of the subjects at school, but as long as you're learning about something, you're learning about tattoos, you're learning about the gym, you're learning about, how to open up a restaurant. Go out there and find what you love and learn about it, get obsessed with it. And so just the study of the human mind and the psyche and our instinct to just learn, that's just me, dog. At my core, I'm a lifelong learner, I just represents me as a whole. I mean, all of them do, but that's a tough-ass question. I would have to say that one,
Yeah, no, I could agree just by sitting down and talking to you, man. You've been to a couple different schools. Obviously 2 masters, you got some degrees here, and and I can tell knowledge is key to you. You know what I'm saying? Like just like you're saying, and anybody, man, you really listen. You can, like you said, you can learn knowledge from any craft that you're in. But knowledge is power at the end of the day, man. It's what you know. People always say it's who you know, but it's what you know. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And that's, to me, it's like I want to absorb whatever it is as much as I can to pass that on. You know what I mean? To my legacy, to my kids and stuff like that. Of course. Because that's just is. I'm smarter than the last generation, and my generation smarter. So hopefully sooner or later down the line, motherfuckers is geniuses or something. You know what I mean? So I understand that knowledge is key.
Knowledge is key. I think more importantly, like knowledge of self is key. You know what I mean? So there's this line: no history, no self. You know, if you know no history, you don't know yourself. Yeah. So it's always like a double. What is it? A double entendre.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I didn't really come to fully realize myself, and when I did, you know, that's when you become a powerful, unstoppable force. Is when you truly know yourself and what you want on this planet, in this life. So it's like, don't just go out there and learn, go out there and learn everything, but also just go out there and learn yourself, if that's making any sort of sense. Yeah, dude, like all of that stuff, like I could go on forever. Like that's why I've dedicated my life to education for the last 6 years. And it's, this idea of tattoos and being able to tell your story through tattoos, I think is incredibly dope. So I want to give you your flowers as well, because this has been just like a dope experience for real. I've never had the opportunity to sit down and reflect and talk about my tattoos, so some of this might come across as very raw. But that's what it's about, you know what I mean? So I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you, man, taking time out your day. I know you got a busy day ahead of you, and to allowing us to shoot it here. Like, obviously it means something deep to you, to me.
Yeah,
it means the world.
People, watching, you wouldn't know, but we had an audience, people walking
you
in
can
and
hear,
out, a lot of stuff going on.
That's it. This is live action here. We're in the middle of the restaurant. People are ordering food, getting their food, eating their food
dope,
here.
Man.
And I just love it, man. I love it. Again, thank you, bro. Thank you for taking time out your day to sit here and do this. I love to tell. People are going to love to hear what they mean to you and your story, so I'm just glad I was here to capture this.
Of course, bro. Of course. Yeah. Guys, go out and follow the page. Go out and follow Bob's. Order Bob's. I'll see you soon, my friend. Let's get some food.
Yeah.
So, first things first, shout out Bob's. If you haven't been to Bob's, come through. Best burgers in the Valley. Best fries in the Valley. Frank, how was the menudo? Awesome menudo. Shout out Indio High School, man. That's my home. That's my alma mater. That's my current employer. I love them to death. Shout out Tattoo Tales one time for inviting me out here. This is the homie for sure. I was incredibly nervous, but this is an awesome experience. Shout out Universal because we met there. Corey, Kim, Armando, Tim, all my tattoo artists. Shout out you guys. I'll make sure I tag them in the comments so they can, see it. Shout out Yasmin for being here all day long. And maybe next episode of Tattoo Tales. And just shout out you guys for watching and supporting. So that's it.